let's talk about how I've doubled my Shopify sales in about the last 30 days. So prior to that, I used to get maybe 10 sales a month. It'd really be quite sporadic. And to be honest, I haven't really spent much time pushing it. I didn't really want to push Shopify. I wanted to get Amazon nailed first as my sort of first port of call, just because the customers are already there. It's the biggest shop in the world. And if I can sort of get that done and dialed in, then I should have a good base to start with. And like I said in other videos, having the Amazon FBA, being able to ship a big box of candles and let them deal with it, and the shipping is marvelous for me, and it just saves a bit of time. But anyway, what I've now started to want to do is create my brand and bring a lot of the power to me. So the problem is, if something happens on Amazon and I lose that sales platform, that is 75% of my business gone. So I want to be able to have control of that, have control of an email list, build my social media following, and build my sort of repetitive sales on Shopify. So that's what I've been doing recently, spending a bit more time creating my own brand, taking the power back to me. So with that said, what have I been doing to gain a following on Instagram and other platforms? So the main one is Instagram, really. What I've really dialed down in is a certain niche. I think, as I've said in many other videos recently, I was trying to do too many things for too many different people, not specific enough for a specific set of people. I was just trying to do nice candles. So I was doing like a lavender candle, a citronella candle, a bookshop candle, sweet pea candle. I was trying to do a candle just for everyone and hope someone liked it because they'd like a nice looking label and they'd like to buy from a nice handmade seller. But this didn't create a love-hate relationship. People didn't really look at it and go, oh, amazing, or, oh, I hate it. They just looked at it and go, well, nice candle, maybe I'll buy it. So for me, I felt like every time I got a sale, it was a bit of luck, not necessarily steps I've taken in order to create a brand and create loyalty, create a narrative, and that kind of stuff. So what I've really dialed in on is a niche. So for me, I quite like Lord of the Rings. I like fantasy books. I like getting lost in a different world. And I think candles can do that. They can transport you to nostalgic memories, places, or even create like mystical, magical, different realms. So for instance, I'm working on an old forest candle at the moment, and I really want it to be a bit like Fangorn Forest, a walk through an old ancient forest. It's got oaky, moss, damp vibes, but it's also got the smell of sort of old trees and wood with a bit of mist and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going with my candle brand. I'm really going down that direction of bookish candles, fantasy candles, and just candles that create just a different place in time for a moment. And that's really been working for me. So I found like a bit of a community now. So there's a lot of bookstagrammers and people like that on Instagram. And I didn't quite realize it was such a sort of broad niche. And so I've started doing a lot of posts. I've started doing a lot of flat lays. I've started doing, just trying to make my photos look beautiful. So I've gone to charity shops. I've collected props, things like old barometers, old books, that kind of rustic thing. So I can get my sort of candles, get a lovely little flat lay. If you don't know what a flat lay is, I've got a few videos about them. But you basically arrange it all, look at it all nice, take a photo from the top, and it creates like a lovely scene and setting. So I've been working on that. So things like I've got a Shire candle, which is based on the Shire from Lord of the Rings. So I've put that next to a Hobbit book with loads of nice little green bits. And I've got the One Ring, obviously, because I'm a bit of a nerd. So I put that next to it and a few other things. So just trying to create the most beautifully aesthetic images for my subset of people that would appreciate it, and it's been working super, super well. So I've been gaining a lot of followers on Instagram by just doing that and doubling down on my niche. I've also been running sort of Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So the posts that I've done the best, I've been boosting them, and that's been gaining me a decent amount of followers. So I think in probably the last month and a half, I've gained maybe 350 followers, which is incredible. Prior to that, I'd get maybe a couple a month. So really what I think you should do when you're starting out, or even if you're still halfway into your journey of candle making, work out what twist you can add. What is your unique personality trait? What can you offer in your candles that makes you stand out from the rest, rather than just making nice candles for the sake of making nice candles to sell them? What can you offer? What can your twist be? Could it be, I don't know, candles for dog lovers that hide the smell of your smelly pooch after it's come back from a wet, rainy walk? Just trying to have a little think about something very specific, or like a chef's candle. I've seen quite a few of them on Amazon, like something that masks the scent of cooking. Or you could be, I've seen other people do like holiday inspired candles. So there'll be one that smells like New York, one that smells like Dubai, one that smells like Hong Kong. And each one came with like a little passport. So each scent was kind of representative of that place. And that's another thing that takes you to a place in time. It takes you to sort of those nostalgic memories. But yeah, I've gone off on a big tangent now. So I'm just going to check my notes and see where we are. So yeah, Instagram reels and shots for specific people. So I've been doing reels as well, trying to set up some nice little stories, just explaining what the candles are without so many words. So I've got a herbology one, which is the Harry Potter one. So that's sort of next to a load of plants and pots and things like that. So it's just creating the story. And like I said, these photos and these things hit a certain demographic. And I think doing that, you need to be authentic with yourself. You can't just pick a niche because you think it's cool. I think you need to have some kind of allegiance to that niche. It has to be part of you. Otherwise, that inauthenticity will come across. There's no point me trying to make candles for tap dancers because I don't really care about that. That's a really bad example. But anyway, we're going to roll with it. And what I've also been doing is building in public. I wanted to try and hide behind the camera and just take nice photos. But the more YouTube stuff I've done, the more confident I've become doing it, the better I come across on camera. Just have a look at some of my first videos. I am basically a robot in a skin suit. So building in public, creating behind the scenes, and that adds that human element again, that authenticity. And that's what people really want in this day and age. Everything's so polished and perfect and premium. They miss that journey behind the scenes, and people just need that, I think, now. They just need that human aspect of things. So yeah, building in public. So I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm talking about my successes, my failures, things that have gone wrong, things that have gone well, talking about new exciting projects, just talking about everything really, just trying to create just, like I said, the more I keep saying it, the more I feel like I'm just banging on that human aspect. And I think I've already touched on Instagram ads and Facebook ads, so trying to do a few of them and to see what sticks. Even if I spend £10 a day and I'm gaining 10 followers every couple of days, I think it's worth it because I'm building an audience. I'm building people that are interested in me and in my brand, and that is a certain group of people that I can sell to. Because if they're really interested in what I'm making and they become interested in me, and all of my sort of ideals align with theirs, then there's no possible way I can fail. It's just building that, creating that audience, and just getting people invested in you. And I've also been engaging with like-minded communities. So I've been trying to go through Facebook and Instagram and find posts where I can talk to people and just get a bit of engagement and just build on that as well. Something I really need to work on more is finding those groups and spending a bit of time in those groups, talking to the people, seeing what they want as well, asking people what kind of candles they would like and what I can provide to help them. So the people are there. There's no point in me trying to make something and hope people like it. I could always just ask them and get real-time feedback. So that's something I need to do, something to remind myself. So as I go on these tangents, I remind myself of stuff I need to do. And the other thing is providing the best customer service I possibly can. So replying to emails, replying to comments, giving those little hearts and just trying to engage with people as much as possible. People want to buy from small independent sellers. I know I do when I go out for a meal. I try my best to avoid chain restaurants. I'd rather give my money to someone that's working hard, creating their dream, working for themselves and doing their own thing. I'd rather give my money to people like that. Same with when I go online shopping. I'd rather give my money to people, well, just to people rather than big conglomerates. I don't want to give my money that just gets lost in the ether of nothingness and that just takes over the world. But yeah, provide the best customer service. Try and make people feel special and try to make them involved and part of your journey. Ask people questions, ask polls on Instagram. So these are things I'm doing, but things I still need to get better at. And I think that is pretty much it, really. Everything I wanted to cover in the video. It's gone on a bit longer than normal because I have been waffling. Been quite tired recently. Not that you people care, but the lack of sleep, the 5-6 hours a night, I think is catching up with me. So the brain fog is a bit foggy. But I think once I go off on one in a different direction, I follow that and then I lose my train of thought. So yeah, those are the things I've been doing to double my sales on Shopify. So like I said, it's gone from about 10 to more like 20, 30 a month. And I think people are really enjoying the behind the scenes and like I said, I think I've found my sort of subset of people. So I'm just going to double down on that. I'm going to start chopping off the chuff, getting rid of the things that don't really align with my brand now. So a lot of the nice candles I'm probably just going to whittle down. Part of me doesn't want to for sentimental reasons. That's some of the things I started out with, but a gin and tonic candle doesn't really serve me anymore. So I'm just going to whittle them down. I might have like 4 or 5 cents of my sort of OG range. Even that's probably too much. Really, I just need to get rid of them. I know I do. So I'm just longing it out. And then just really go down and focus on that niche of bookstagram candles, fantasy candles, and candles that take people to a special place in time, whether it's real or whether it's not. So yeah, I think really this is as much a lesson to you as it is to me to get rid of all the bullshit which isn't working, double down on what is working, and make that a thing. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Peace out.